welcome back to my channel. My name is Rena and today I have my February wrap-up for you guys. February was kind of a good yet sort of slow reading month for me. My birthday is in February. I turned 22, hence the little nonsense with me and Taylor Swift. I managed to read a total of 4 books. I don't know if that's good or not. That averages about a book a week, which is pretty good. Technically, I did read 4 books in the month of February, but I never really did a January wrap-up, so I guess I'll just include the last book that I read in January. So I will be showing you a total of 5 books. Still really awkward. It really is. I can't ever shake this feeling. Okay, just do it. Just do it. The last book that I read in the month of January is The Lightning Thief by Riordan. This is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. I did a complete book talk about it and about how much I loved it, even though I am a 22-year-old just now reading the Percy Jackson series. I will link my book talk down in the bottom bar, so feel free to check it out and totally, give me a shout out if you've read it or if you haven't read it. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I completely enjoyed it, even though it is a middle grade series. I absolutely love this world. I absolutely loved Rick Riordan's writing. I absolutely love anything to do with Greek mythology, so I'm always down for it. The first book that I want to actually talk about, that I actually read in the month of February, would be Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and her daughter, Samantha Van Leer. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they interpreted how reading and the world of books when the book is closed. For those of you who don't know, this book follows our main character Delilah, who's completely obsessed with this fairy tale, and one day she notices something in the book isn't how she remembered it, and she ends up turning to the page where the main character in her fairy tale, Prince Oliver, is by himself, and he manages to talk to her. And it sort of follows our 2 main characters, Prince Oliver and Delilah, as they both try to attempt to get Oliver out of the story. And it also follows their journey of how they fall in love. This was a very interesting read. It was very fun. It was very light. I would definitely suggest it. If you have not read anything by Jodi Picoult or her daughter Samantha Van Leer, definitely pick it up. It's not too heavy, not too serious. It was definitely a fun read. So the next 2 books are technically rereads. I read them over the summer for Booktubeathon, and I'm rereading them, or I'm rereading the first 3 books in the series. I want to be able to finally pick up the last book and the last novella bind-up and finally power through it and be completely shattered when the series is done. And of course I speak about the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, and I'm talking about the first 2 books. It is Cinder and Scarlet. I have already done a book talk about Cinder, and I will be doing a book talk about Scarlet. For those of you who don't know, the Lunar Chronicles is a sci-fi fantasy retelling of certain types of fairy tales, and I can't go too much into detail about Scarlet without spoilers. So the first book, Cinder, it follows our main character, a 16-year-old cyborg by the name of Cinder, and it sort of follows her as she's thrusted into the middle of a interplanetary conflict between the people of Earth and the people of the Moon, or more so the Queen of the Moon. And you kind of follow Cinder as she goes through this journey of meeting the prince, falling in love with him, and her having to go on the run because she finds out secrets about herself. I am rereading Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress, and I will be moving on to Winter and the Stars Above. I picked up Winter and the Stars Above on both of their release dates, and they've both been sitting on my shelf begging me to read them, but I've been putting it off because I know that once I finish the series, I'm going to be completely heartbroken because I can never go back as a first-time reader and experiencing that world again. I gave Cinder a 5 out of 5 stars. The Lunar Chronicles is definitely chalking up to be my second favorite series of all time, right below Harry Potter, of course. And I gave Scarlet a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, although I did enjoy Scarlet, and I did enjoy the introduction of new characters, especially Scarlet and Wolf, I did find myself yearning for these Cinder chapters because I find Cinder to be a very interesting and sarcastic narrator, and I kind of love seeing her point of view. So if you haven't checked out the Lunar Chronicles, I highly suggest you go pick it up. And the fourth and final book that I read in the month of February, although it was technically March, like 1 o'clock in the morning, March 1st, I finished reading it. I'm going to count it as a February read. And that book is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I know this book has been getting a lot of hype, especially since the trailer has just come out for the movie that is going to be coming out in, I believe, July or June, one of those summer months. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a very heart-wrenching read. Before you guys even ask, yes, I did cry. It was very emotional. I knew what the book was leading up to, but I couldn't help but let myself fall in love with the characters and the story. For those of you who don't know, Me Before You followed our main character, Louisa Clark, Lou, who starts a new job as a caregiver to a quadriplegic named Will. Now, Will was an eccentric, very adventurous man in his life before his unfortunate accident. As Lou slowly becomes more and more engrossed in Will's world and in his life, she finds out that Will has plans of his own. In 6 months, he intends on ending his life on his own terms, and Lou is hell-bent on making him love life again, showing him that life is worth living. And it sort of follows them as their friendship grows and as their romance grows, and it is heart-wrenching and beautiful. Please go pick it up. After reading this, I'm definitely interested in picking up more of Jojo Moyes' books. I will definitely be doing a book talk going into depth about my feelings about this book, so definitely keep an eye out for it. I will link it down below once it goes live. I will also link the trailer for Me Before You down below. If you have not watched it, please go check it out. I'll link it for you. Although technically one of them was a January wrap-up and the other one was technically March. So thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and definitely don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in seeing the rest of my videos. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!